All right, guys, we're a couple hours into the day 3 of free agency. Nothing yet. We're still hearing stuff about Trent Brown. We've heard a couple of whispers about Clowney, but nothing concrete has happened yet. But we do have an interesting update from Josina Anderson, who generally has been relatively reliable when it comes to reporting rumors. And this is not unexpected to me. This is something that I expected us to do, even if we are looking at the draft for our next quarterback. So she tweeted just a few minutes ago, I'm told the Seahawks would prefer to add an experienced veteran starting quarterback. So, despite what they said in that press conference a couple days ago, it seems like we don't really like Drew Lock that much. So, it seems to me that there is an interest in this team to add an experienced veteran starting quarterback, somebody you can depend on to be okay, somebody who you can depend on to hold down the fort, maybe get you to the playoffs in 2022, and not necessarily preclude you from getting a QB of the future. So, inquiry calls have gone out to the Falcons about Matt Ryan, according to Josina, and Cleveland on Baker Mayfield. We knew about the Baker Mayfield thing from yesterday, but she also says, and others, meaning that presumably there are some other guys who are involved. Best guesses would be Jimmy Garoppolo and Jared Goff, and there's probably one or two other guys out there that I'm not even really thinking about. I don't think Derek Carr would be on the list at this point because they just traded for Devontae Adams. But those would be the four guys that strike me as most likely. So I feel like Matt Ryan's going to end up in Indianapolis, so I don't feel like he's going to be the guy. So best guess right now is that we're kicking the can on Baker Mayfield and Jared Goff and possibly Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't know if the 49ers would trade him within the division. But I've already kind of voiced my take on some of those guys. Like, I don't believe in Baker. I don't want to give up anything real for him. Goff is interesting because you could maybe get the Lions to pay you to take him because they save 16 mil plus. And Garoppolo, you guys know I'm not a fan of, and apparently the Niners want assets for him. One thing that's kind of notable here is that there are some quarterbacks that fit that mold in free agency still. Marcus Mariota is still a free agent. Jameis Winston is still a free agent. Ryan Fitzpatrick is still a free agent. Those guys all have experience. They're all that you wouldn't have to trade anything to get them. And I think that if you actually had to give up assets for some of these guys, especially a guy like Baker Mayfield, who apparently is going to cost close to a second-round pick, maybe a third-round pick, that might be a better solution. A guy like a Jameis Winston signed for very little last year, and he's coming off a major injury. He's probably going to be cheap again. Mariota probably is going to be very cheap again. So I think that we are probably going to add somebody, which when I made that video, I was kind of thinking somebody's going to get added into this QB competition. But, yeah, so Josina Anderson reports that we are looking to add a veteran quarterback, somebody who has experience starting. There are a few guys you can trade for, a few guys you can sign. I listed like 6, 7 reasonable options. There are probably a few more. Let me know what you guys think down below. I am going to get out of here. Peace out. Go Hawks. Still streaming all day, even if this team never actually does anything of substance.